Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Hope you like crappy baseball. Anyway, welcome in. This is the Phillies Postgame Show on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. My name is Marc Farzetta, and across the board in Philadelphia sports, things suck very much. Boy, do they suck. It's terrible. It's no good. But hey, maybe we can have some fun for the next 20 minutes or so here on the JAKIB Media Phillies Postgame Show, which is brought to you by the wonderful people of Colony Pools and Power Washing. Let the experts get rid of that ugly green algae off your roof, off your siding, and off your deck. They service Delaware, Delco, and Chester counties. Call them now at 302-762-2250. 302-762-2250. I will say, in all of Philadelphia sports today, the person that showed the most fire, the most passion, the most will to win was Bryce Harper, at least, and they threw him out of a game because of it. What was going on in this baseball game, I'm still trying to wrap my head around. From Rob Thompson getting thrown out of the game, to the umpires not seeing that they wanted to review a play, to the umpires throwing Bryce Harper out, to then seeing, what's his face, the guy that's not that big a deal, Bird, seeing him get thrown out of a game for taunting the Phillies bench after that seventh inning. I don't get it. I don't know who the hell Bird thinks he is. I don't know what that was, but he felt the need to taunt the Phillies bench, and Bryce Harper responded, and so did Kyle Schwarber. But Bryce Harper's definitely the guy that'll fly off the handle. Bryce Harper's the guy that if you're in a bar fight, he's definitely the guy that is jumping to the conclusion that somebody else wants to fight you. He's definitely the guy that's like, hey, that guy bumped into you. Well, maybe it was an accident. That guy's down on the floor because Bryce Harper knocked him out. Like, that's kind of the way Bryce Harper's wired, I think. But this game was just a rough game from start to finish, no matter how you slice it for the Phils. First off, let's just talk about the fact that they got the leadoff runner on in the first inning. They got the leadoff hitter on in the first inning with Bryson Stott. It was nice to see him lead things off with that single. Then Trey Turner strikes out as Stott is stealing second base, which was nice, and he was in by a mile. Harper strikes out. Castellanos strikes out. Then in the bottom of the first inning is kind of when you really got this, because, you could get the leadoff runner on in any inning. You could have some struggles, and the Phillies had about 3 or 4 different opportunities with the leadoff runner getting on, and they failed to cash in on those opportunities. But you really started to feel like things were going to go south for the Phillies in the bottom of that first inning. Now, why is that? Well, because in the bottom of that first inning, Blackmon leads off with a single to right field. Then Profar walks. Nola not looking too sharp right out of the gate. Bryant gets the bloop. Then Cron ends up getting the fielder's choice 6-4 error on Trey Turner, who threw it right past Alec Bohm. Not a good look for Trey Turner. 2 runs end up scoring. You're now in the hole 2-0. You're able to get out of that inning. Stott had a little bobble on a fielder's choice at second base, but he was able to handle it. You get out of that inning, you're down 2-0. So it could have been a lot worse. They managed the damage, and they only were down 2-0 after that first inning. Then the game started to roll on. You had more problems there in the 5th inning. Castro struck out to lead the inning. Doyle gets the home run. You're down now 3-0, unfortunately, the Phillies are. Bryant comes up, gets the RBI to center field to Brandon Marsh, who just couldn't field it cleanly, like overran the baseball. And Blackmon, who had a double right after the home run by Doyle, he ends up coming around to score. Brandon Marsh is a sure-handed center fielder. He is a very good center fielder. And for whatever reason, in this particular instance, he overran the baseball, made a mistake, and I believe it cost the Phillies a run because I don't think they gave an RBI to Chris Bryant on that play. The run ended up scoring. Phillies are now down in the hole 4-0. And then you get a leadoff man on the base in the 7th inning with Alec Bohm. He goes up there and he works a walk. Brandon Marsh works a walk. Now you got runners at first and second with nobody out. Enter the craziness. You got Eddie Sosa stepping up to the plate. He hits what should have been a 6-4-3 double play. He almost beats out the play. You could argue that he beat out the play, and that's what the Phillies wanted to review. They end up calling Marsh safe at second base. They end up giving the out, the double play right there to the Rockies, despite the fact that the Phillies wanted to review the play. They, of course, don't have Rob Thompson. He was thrown out earlier in the game for arguing balls and strikes. Mike Leachy, the bench coach, tries to signal that they want to review the play. The umpiring crew goes over and says, well, we didn't see that you wanted to review it, so you're out of time. And his stance is, I think anybody's stance would be very simple. What do you mean he didn't see me? I was signaling. How are you not looking for it? Like, what if you know enough to know that they want to review the play? Don't you know enough to then go over there and see whether or not they're going to officially review it or not? Does the manager really have to run out there to the top step, wave his arms like he's landing a plane and let you know that he wants to review that play? It was an annoying thing. Certainly not why the Phillies lost by any means, but certainly an annoying thing that took part in this game, especially now you had to worry about not having Bryce Harper later in the game and his at bat did end up coming around in that eighth inning there with Clemens getting to hit in that eighth inning. But Harper gets thrown out of the game when Bird taunted the Phillies bench. Bird was terrible, by the way, and I looked it up because I wanted to be sure on this. He threw 20 pitches. 12 of them were balls. All right? Only 8 of them were strikes. And he had the cojones to look over that Phillies dugout and clap and taunt and mock. Who the hell do you think you are? So he gets thrown out of the game as well. Harper comes out of the dugout and benches start clearing. And what was weird was I was making the note, right? While also keeping an eye on another game going on in Philly. And I'm keeping a note on this. I had my head down. I checked Twitter real quick, and I think it was Todd Zalecki of MLB.com that put it out there. Harper's out of the dugout. Bench is clear. And I'm like, what? What is going on? And I look up, and there it is. Both benches are cleared. The bullpens are running, scampering onto the field to see what's going on. Harper they're trying to restrain him. Kevin Long's trying to restrain him. I think Mike Leachy was trying to restrain him. You also had somebody else was out there trying to hold him back as well. I couldn't make out who it was, but Harper was livid in this situation, and rightfully so, because he already knows his team, for whatever reason, that particular day doesn't have it. They're not coming up with any answers. And then some bum that's only in his second year in the majors, and he's 27 years old, he wants to talk trash after throwing only 8 strikes? Yeah, okay, they're tons of fun. Whatever you got to do. But it certainly rubbed Bryce Harper the wrong way. He was later thrown out of the ball game. In total, Bird throws 1 inning of scoreless baseball, does walk 2, throws 20 pitches, only 8 landing in the strike zone. And then Lawrence came in and basically shut the door on the Phillies, got 3 strikeouts, allowed 3 hits and 2 innings of work. But again, as you would assume in a 4-0 loss, shutout innings by everyone involved. Certainly a rough go of it here for this Phillies lineup. In total, and it's been a minute since we've talked about this, but boy, was it a problem today. The Phillies in total 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position today. 0 for 14. Edmundo Sosa 0 for 3. Brandon Marsh 0 for 1. Kyle Schwarber 0 for 2. Stott 0 for 2. Bohm 0 for 1. Castellanos 0 for 2 and Harper 0 for 2 as well. Marsh was 0 for 1 also. 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position. In total, the Phillies left 10 men on base in this 4-0 loss that halts their winning streak at 5 games. Terrible, ugly, no good, very bad day for not just Philadelphia sports fan, but the Philadelphia Phillies as well. As far as Aaron Nola went in this one, not sharp, not crisp by any means for Aaron Nola. I love being able to look at the box score after the game and, glance at the idea that he went 7 innings. That's great. I love the idea that he only walked 1. That's great. He also went over 100 pitches. Okay. All right. But he was not crisp today. Lacked his put-away pitch. You saw some more velocity return to his fastball, which was nice, but really, especially in the early goings of that ball game, I mean, they were just jumping on everything he was trying to throw across the plate. Whether it be Charlie Blackmon being able to handle his business in this particular game, or that be Chris Bryant, who got you a couple of hits, including a bloop single early on in the ball game. But really, it was just a rough game for Aaron Nola. And it doesn't look like it statistically speaking. And he didn't have a lot of help when it came to his defense playing behind him. They did not help him even a little bit. But in total, at the end of the day, it still comes down to this. for Aaron Nola. Despite errors behind him in the field, 4 runs, all of them earned, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 walk, just 4 strikeouts. And yes, he did give up the home run to Doyle in the game. So nothing really to get excited about in this one. Just when the Phillies had started inching up to the 500 mark and then just getting a game over the 500 mark, they fall back down to the 500 mark, 20-20 in the season. And as we review this game and as we'll break it down and continuously look at the way it's going for this Phillies team, it is nothing short of a rough one for the Phillies. Now they're going to have a 3-game series with the Giants. Not going to get much easier there. I see the chat. The chat is no good, is no good whatsoever. So you're looking at Jake Bird right now. Somebody in the chat saying right here, we have a guest. Ladies and gentlemen. It's Mother's Day, so the Farzetta house is rather packed. Do you want to say hello, sweetheart? You want an ice cream cone? Find your mother, okay? I can't help you right now. I'm kind of tied to the desk. There's a house full of like 20 adults, and you're down here somehow. It's amazing. Sweetheart, would you mind just taking care of business upstairs? Do you want to say hello to the people? You might as well come in and say hello to everybody. No? Now we're bashful? She's never said no before. It's my 3-year-old daughter, Emanuela. She's crying right now probably because of the Sixers and the Phillies, not because of not getting an ice cream cone, although I don't think that helped the situation as well. How about that? What do we got? Sean Kilraid. What's up, Sean Kilraid? What's up, Farzy? What happened with the Bird and Bryce? I've gone through it a couple of times. It ain't good. It is awful, as a matter of fact. It's just downright terrible is what it is. Downright terrible. But it was the biggest fireworks that you had today in Philadelphia sports, unless something goes down in another athletic endeavor that's going on. But needless to say, just a rough one, and the Phillies just couldn't help themselves. Just looking it over right now, it is another situation here where twice Bryson Stott in the ball game did it in the first inning with a single to right, did it in the third inning with a single to left, and then you saw a little bit later in the ball game, I know JT Realmuto got on second base, and that was a gifted double because it was a foul ball. They didn't review it. And whatever, they gave JT Realmuto the double. Phillies still couldn't cash in on that opportunity. And there were a couple of plays throughout this game that you just thought the Phillies were being gifted opportunities, and they just were unable to cash in. Bohm led off that 7th inning with a W. Like I said, in the 7th inning, he got first and second with nobody out. Just ugly, hideous baseball. And yeah, it was a double play, unfortunately, and just not a good thing for the Phillies. So they'll look to hopefully hit the reset button with a road trip here to San Francisco, 3-game trip out there in the Bay as the Phillies go on after losing their first game in their last 6 games. They go out tomorrow night. It'll be a 9:45 start time in San Francisco. Bailey Falter will be back on the bump for the Phillies. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. He'll go up against Alex Wood. Wood is coming off a performance where he has pretty much done what he's done all year, which is dominate. This is what I was alluding to when I said it doesn't get any easier for the Phillies in the near future. Wood so far on the season in an opening role, if you will, allowed 1 earned run in 1 inning, did allow 3 hits in that 1 inning, but also a walk, but still only allowed the 1 earned run. And on the season, he's got a 2.45 ERA. So we'll see if they, again, go with the opener role there for Alex Wood. It's been a nice little run there for the lefty in San Francisco. As for Bailey Falter, it has not been a good run as of late for Bailey Falter. The guy that we saw pitch through the most of last year has struggled mightily, allowing at least 3 runs in his last 4 starts, including a 5 earned run performance against the Boston Red Sox, allowing 6 hits. I don't want to talk about anything Boston right now. 6 hits, 5 earned runs, unfortunately, and he did pitch 3 2/3. 9 runs total in his last 2 starts. If you're the Phillies, first off, I want to know what's going to happen if there's going to be any fallout here for Bryce Harper in that regard for getting thrown out. We'll see what the league says, but I doubt anything major is going to come out of this. You saw that when Bryce Harper was arguing with the umpires when he's being thrown out of the game, it was all like he was trying to get the umpire to confirm that Bird was going to get thrown out of the game as well. And they went over there, and it looks like they threw him out. So they threw him out as well. He did end up getting thrown out. Can confirm. Both Harper and Bird were thrown out of the game. But it looked like he's saying, if I'm going to get thrown out of the game for this, then he better get thrown out of the game as well. Like, it can't just be me. But it's nice to see life. Nice to see some fire. Nice to see that at least from the Phils, at least from Bryce Harper, because when it came to everything else, nothing else was there for them, unfortunately. Just a dreadful game from start to finish, and this is where it doesn't get fun. We talk about it when the Phillies are winning. Oh, it's fun. When the Phillies are not winning, oh, it's terrible. It's downright hideous. It's awful. And that's what it was today for us, unfortunately. Let's see what else you guys got going on here. Yep. Still talking about another sport, unfortunately. Wish we could get into it more, but we can't. Alex Schmidt produced the program, did a wonderful job as per usual. Don't forget, let Colony Pools let them help you out and bring your home back to life for the summer of 2023. Colony Pools and Power Washing. Give our sponsor a call for the entire baseball season at 302-762-2250. That's 302-762-2250. If you're tired of seeing that green algae stain on your roof, if you live in Delco, Chester, or in the state of Delaware, let Colony pressure wash your house and take the pressure off you. That sounds good, doesn't it? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Catch you guys tomorrow. West Coast trip. Phillies, Giants start a 3-game series in the city by the Bay. Talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Google TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
And the big story on Action News.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction. Go with trust.
Go Birds!
And go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
This is Governor Ed Rendell urging you to vote for my friend Judge Pat Dugan for Superior Court. I appointed Judge Dugan in 2007 to the Philadelphia Municipal Court, where he now serves as its president judge. Pat is a proud Army veteran of 23 years. He served 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's also recommended by the Philadelphia Bar Association. But most importantly, he bleeds Eagles green and hates those Dallas Cowboys. So get out and vote for number 3, Judge Pat Dugan for Superior Court.
Paid for by Dugan 2023.
EAGLES, Eagles.